So what was cool about this is how many times this project shouldn't have worked.
I met a gypsy.
I don't know. I love freaking shooting dirt bikes, especially with cool shit. So
Oh yeah.
I still stay pretty cutting edge. Like I still have the Canon C400. Like a new camera comes out or a new drone comes out, I still can't help myself. I don't do like the lens investments anymore because the lenses that we buy are normally 10 or 15 a pop.
Yeah.
And like, can anybody, especially on Instagram, tell the difference between a $3,000 2.8 Canon L series versus a
cine lens? Probably
lens?
not.
No.
Can you pull up Homegrown? This was my last hurrah.
Yeah.
This was my retirement.
All right. Well, if we're gonna go in order, I think 1, 2.
All right.
I don't. Who knows? I would say let's backtrack a second. Epic was probably another big game changer for me, and then Homegrown. This Homegrown one changed.
Let's go to Epic. Type in Verb Moto.
Oh,
Epic.
here. Let's talk about this one. You asked top 5. I don't know where any of these land, but this was definitely huge for us.
So what made this project? There we go. Phantom shot.
That's you.
On that same lens.
That's you.
I was in my prime, bro. Go back.
Yeah.
I want to watch that shot again.
It's a good shot.
I was in my prime. What happened to me? This is that 600mm lens.
Like, and Greg White on the Color Pearl Street posts,
Oh.
just crushing that color.
See, that just makes me horny. That's why I got out of bed. I just wanted that
Well, exactly.
every day.
It made us all horny. Look, the sunrise corn shots. Like, who's getting sunrise corn shots? Keith White on the sound.
Goosebumps.
I think me and you wrote this VO together, didn't we?
Yeah.
So what was cool about this is how many times this project shouldn't have worked. There was multiple times that we flew all the way out to Kansas to build the track because we had to build the track before the corn.
Yeah.
And it got full on rained out
Which
twice.
never happens.
Never happens. And so then we started getting to we got to the last shot. And I think Red Bull kept saying, all right, let's go again. Because every time we went out there, Baker's whole crew, our whole film crew, I'm sure there was a certain level of investment that we made as well. Not, I don't remember how much money that the ones that didn't work, I don't remember how much those cost, but it would have cost something. Cool. We sat there for a whole week. I'm still paying everybody. Baker's still paying everybody. So maybe me and him did it for the love of it. But we got to the last time, like, hey, if it doesn't work, there's not even going to be enough time for the corn to grow.
Yeah.
And like, especially with all this rain that's happened already, will the dirt take? Is it too soggy? Are we going to get?
Yeah, you had to learn how to be a corn farmer.
So thank God, Adam LaRoche, whose property this was, his whole family's farmers. So he's literally the one that helped us plant the corn. So yeah, the third time we went out, perfect weather. We ended up getting to build the damn track. Adam had figured out some type of corn with the right strand that didn't need the amount of, like, it was real. It's not nutritious corn. It was corn meant for deer. I don't remember it, but it's some special strain of corn that he had found that could grow in the amount of time that we needed, and it would even as tall as it is, because like most corn stalks aren't this tall. So it was like a very specific corn that he ended up finding, and then we planted it, and then the rain came. It was just like one of those things that wasn't meant to be that turned into meant to be. It shouldn't have worked.
And this is just like, watching this now, I haven't watched it in so long. I mean,
it's unreal.
This just doesn't exist.
Like, think about the amount of money Red Bull would have spent on this.
Fuck, it's so sick. I remember this. I remember setting up these lights right behind that wall. There's a whole party going on.
Yep.
So the cool thing about this, that literally started Gypsy Tales too.
Yeah.
Which people probably, I don't know how much I've said about that, but so Jeremy literally says, so there's VO the whole way through it. And his whole idea, I feel like this was a play to also get me to just do a podcast. But he was like, all right, I need you to go get podcast equipment. We're going to set up a podcast, and then we're going to pull quotes out of this for the VO in case the VO doesn't work with Dunge. Like, he's not the best with the VO.
Yep.
So I literally drive with Hurley in the fucking rental car.
That is right. Yep.
To go to Guitar Center
with my credit card.
Yeah, to buy all this podcast shit for this shoot. And then
I remember you caught, I think it was like $8,000 worth of shit, wasn't
nah,
it?
it wasn't that much.
No?
Nah, it was probably like $3,000, I reckon.
Okay.
I think it was like $3,000.
Maybe so. I don't remember.
But and then we take it back, we set it up, and we do a podcast. And that was literally my first ever podcast. Was there with Adam LaRoche.
And it's still
Ryan
on
Dungey.
Gypsy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
We've released it as like the 3rd episode of the podcast or something.
Wow.
And then after that is when I wasn't allowed back in America.
Yep.
So I had plans to just like keep on being the film guy with the film career and the whatever, and it didn't work. And then I did this instead. I don't know whether it's on.
Dude, how crazy. I don't know that I've ever watched those early ones, man. That is crazy.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know that.
Type in Adam LaRoche.
Yeah, but I think that Red Bull, I don't think it was able to go up on YouTube because Red Bull flagged it or something. Is it on the other channel maybe? Yeah, it'd be in the YouTube studio probably. But yeah, so that was meaningful for me in a ton of ways because that started the podcast.
Wow.
And yeah, that's literally the last big production that I ever worked on as a filmer.
How crazy, dude.
Yeah.
17, into 17.
Yeah.
Dungey's retirement was yours too.
literally.
Little did we know.
Yeah. And then, no, we can't find it.
Yeah, because what? You would have flown home right after that and then tried to come back because we were working on straight rhythm content.
Yeah.
Right
No, I
after.
did straight rhythm. We did the live
stream.
podcast at
So
straight rhythm.
that's when we ended up spending the more money when you called and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
we want to buy all this live stream stuff," and that's right. We ended up spending $8,000 more on all the live stream stuff.
Yeah. That got lost in a fire, by the way. That's now a pile of ashes. So yeah, that was like a massive change as well.
Wow.
Go to there's a behind the scenes homegrown edit. That is pretty cool.
So where
as
would
well.
where would the podcast have ended up?
It's on iTunes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely on iTunes. Yeah, behind the scenes. Because I know you guys made a behind the scenes,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so this would give people like a bit of an idea into the actual
How
shoot
crazy?
itself.
Only 141,000.
I know.
I would love to now. It's crazy that I've literally been looking at all this footage because we've been building Jason Baker Dream Tracks demo reel, and the amount of footage that we didn't use. It would be so much fun to go back and make a full-on retrospective with you and him because I have all the rain out footage, and then I have literally weeks on end of footage of them actually building.
So this is the build here. Full screen at Griff? God, isn't he just an animal? So that's what it started.
Yeah.
Originally, we were talking about doing a big rectangle. I think it would maybe be.
So that's Adam. He used to play professional baseball, and Jason flew out and built him a track a year before this. He had found the Justin Barsha Platinum and said, whoever built that track, I want to build me a track. So we found Jason. And Jason built him this dope-ass track, you remember, beside his real house?
Yeah.
So it had like motocross, a woods loop, and kind of a GP section. It was so much fun. So Red Bull wanted to do this, and it was supposed to be like a Minnesota Midwest project for Red Bull money. And Jason, who's going to let us use their land and grow corn and all that without charging us $1 million? And Jason's like, I might have just the guy.
I have a guy that's already got too much money.
So he called Adam LaRoche, and Adam's like, come on out, boys. And so what's crazy, I came out here for the site visit, and Jason showed me 3 different places he had located. And you remember how big the place was. Did you ever go? Yeah, you went to Imagination. So the very first spot Jason showed me was the Imagination spot. And I was like, man, whatever. I remember some pros and cons to it. And then he showed us this, and just because it was flat and everything. And we ended up choosing this location, obviously. But Baker from day one was that other spot. I know something special that we could do. And I was like, why? And he's like, because of the elevation dip, the things I'd be able to build. And of course, I'm a filmer. I don't really understand the way his brain works. But obviously, you look at what Imagination became, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, so this is after 3 months. And then they'd go disc the track so that the corn stayed off the track.
Yep.
We had these little like filming lanes and water truck lanes. Who was the rider that was test jumping the jumps?
Sean Rife.
Yeah, because Dunge didn't even want to jump the doubles.
Like that one, remember? He
Yeah.
was like, yeah, so Sean pulled him over that and the other whack-a-mole jump.
Did you see any of it coming in? You know, I seen pictures. Never
You know what I find crazy about this? Dunge was here for 2 days, and that's all we got. And there was one of the days, remember, it was like crazy overcast.
Oh, look at this. Oh, fuck.
Upside down G-turn.
That was so close, too.
be in there jumping around. It just brings
Watch him tuck his elbow in.
no stress, nothing to worry about. Just me and the dirt bike.
Yeah, this
Look,
is.
there's Will Posey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I even rented that.
Oh, you did have that big cine lens for that.
Yeah.
I think after all said and done, career and everything, it's a good way.
And this was cool too because I'd never seen Dunge in this vibe. You know, I'd always shot with him for when we were doing Red Bull projects and all that, and he was so tense
Yeah.
and so tight and just the most unfun,
Yeah.
serious person. And then that vibe just like went out to everybody.
Yeah.
Made Marv like that. It made Alden like that. And then you get him into the like, look at him smiling, and it was just like a completely different dude.
I wish it was awesome. I just wish that we had spent more time. Just knowing what that became and what we could have done. Like, I feel like we barely scratched the surface of what we could have done there. You know, we basically went to every section and got, 15 minutes on each section?
Yeah.
Like, imagine what we could have done had it just been like, Dunge, come here for a week,
Yeah.
drink Coors Lights with
Lock
us,
in.
and let's just do this, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even remember why we only had 2 days, but it was literally 2 days and only this 2 days. And I mean, it probably all came down to budget, this, that, and the other. But I mean, I don't know. I would have, I would have spent 2 weeks there if we could have.
And
So-
then this turned into imagination.
Yep. More or less. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know that this.
But when imagination came up, we got the perfect place.
Yeah.
We got the land.
Yeah.
We got like
Shout out Adam.
Yeah, we're going to go to the same barn.
Yep.
We're going to do,
Same barn.
just insane
Yep.
what that place has actually done for the sport.
Yeah. And little do people know that. Well, people that are very ingrained in the sport
Yeah.
probably know. But yeah, if it weren't for Adam, none of this would ever happen.
You just finished watching a clip from the full 3-hour podcast. You're on our Clips channel. The full podcast live on the Gypsy Tales podcast channel. It's linked right here. Go over to that channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and make sure you never miss a full episode of the Gypsy Tales podcast. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you want to watch it on the go, you can also head to our iTunes or Spotify to get the full 3-hour podcast in audio format.